This is the 2025 Genesis G90. We are test driving the E-Supercharger, which is my favorite of the trim levels, but there's a lot of details in this vehicle, and when you test drive this, you'll understand why the German competitors are very concerned, because you're getting a lot of value, plus you're getting a lot of technology and some big performance. Let's start with the exterior of this vehicle. There are no changes for 2025, but one of the things people really love about the Genesis is these two stripes across the front. The two stripe design that you see across the front of this vehicle, as well as on the side, are very iconic of the full Genesis lineup. You'll also notice that in the taillights. The full Genesis lineup, whether you're talking about the SUV or the car, have this two stripe design, and that is Genesis' signature. One of the things people like about the overall design appearance of the Genesis lineup is its very luxurious looking front end. The exterior and the interior features are really impressive. There are 7 exterior colors and 4 interior color options. Our test vehicle is the Uni White, which is spelled U-Y-U-N-I. I hope I said that correctly. But it is really a pretty color. It's a pearlescent white and really stands out amongst the other colors that they offer. Standard on the G90 is 20-inch wheels on the base engine. On the E-Supercharger, you're riding on 21-inch alloy wheels. I really like this design of the two-tone color, and it also rides on all-season Michelin tires. One of the unique design features is when you come close to the vehicle with the key fob, it has a proximity key, so the door handles come out, and when you close the doors, they're soft closed doors, which is a premium feature, and then the door handles go flat when you take off or when you lock the vehicle. There are 2 glass roofs versus a panoramic roof, which allows each set of passengers to decide if they want the sunlight or not. The Genesis G90 rides on a 125-inch wheelbase. It offers hands-free trunk, LED headlights and taillights, as well as acoustical windshield glass, so it is really quiet, and there's a lot of privacy as well. As you can see, the glass is darker than you might expect. The G90 E-Supercharger offers air suspension rear wheel steering, which makes this vehicle feel very small and really easy to drive. The warranty is 10 years, 100,000 miles with a complimentary maintenance of 3 years or 36,000 miles. Coming around to the back of this 4-door sexy car is a very nice lip that gives it a sportier coupe-like design. And storage also has a proximity key, 12.8 cubic feet of storage. This is a large vehicle and it can hold a good amount of luggage. There is no spare tire, but most of these vehicles in this category, they don't have it either. I do like how soft closed all the doors are, including the trunk. Across the back, you've got your LED taillights, G90 here, and all-wheel drive, as all the G90s are all-wheel drive. Inside the G90, it seats 5 people. One of the best things, standard Napa leather upholstery across the full lineup, which is really impressive. There's also leather-wrapped steering wheel, which is heated, synthetic suede headliner, and synthetic leather wrapped across the instrument panel. Power tilt and telescoping steering wheel, heated and ventilated seats, as well as massaging seats, heated second row seats, which is really nice, and 3-zone climate control. The massaging seats could be different lengths of time, which you typically don't see in any luxury vehicle, so they really thought about who's driving it. The controls for the massaging seat are right here in front of the passenger side or the memory settings, which is really nice to have that available to you. Opening the door is not a regular lever, but there is an emergency one down below. This is a push button and there's soft closed doors, which is really nice. This purple line that you're seeing across the interior details, well, that is your ambient lighting, and you of course can choose at whatever color you'd like. My personal favorite color is purple, and it looks really cool up against this brown interior with this really neat material that is not wood, but it looks really nice and very high style. In the second row, well, that's where things get really impressive. Not just the leather interior, which is really nice and soft, the beautiful quilting that's on the seats. You'll notice on the side of that center console, that is where all the adjustments are for the seats. Much like that of a front seat, you can recline these seats. Really good for child safety seats. Also excellent if you're hauling people around. Clients will really appreciate being in the second row. In the second row, there's a lot of nice features. You can press the button to close the door. I love it. Soft closed doors. There's also a vanity mirror up top, so I can check my hair, which has been wind whipped, as you can probably tell. You also have speakers all the way across the top and in the doors. This is all Bang & Olufsen, really premium content. You have a light up here as well as a leather wrapped pull. Screens for both the windows and the back window if you wish. With the seat folded up, you can put a third person here, but honestly, I'd rather have it down. Now let's take a closer look at this entertainment screen. It's pretty interesting. What you get back here in the second row is not just the ability to change the audio system and the volume and open and close the doors, but you also have what you would have on your front screen, your climate control. You can make it automatic. You also have the ability to open and close the rear screen, and you can adjust the seats accordingly. Very nice features to have. In the second row, you've got your climate control, your seat adjustments. You can also put up a footrest if you'd like. And what that does is it pulls the second row seat forward. And once that's all the way forward, with of course a pocket behind each of the seats, you got your footrest. I think everyone would want to sit in the passenger rear seat. That is pretty cool. If you want to put it down, just press this button. The seat goes down so you can get in or out of the vehicle. And the second row seat folds forward. I guess you can't sit in the passenger seat in that case, but I know a lot of kids who would pay to be in this right rear seat, or a lot of adults for that matter. In addition, you can get second row massaging seats with durations of 10, 15, or 20 minutes. Like I said, same thing for the front, just really nice. And of course, you can pick, do you want the full body, the lower body, the upper body, whatever you'd like. And then you've got the shades, slide that over, and you can also set your ambient lighting, which allows you to choose whether you want warm or cool lighting, and check, of course, the lights and how you would like it to be. Boy, this would be the best seat in the house, actually. Inside the Genesis G90, you have two 12.3-inch screens that are hoodless. Very impressive interior, by the way. Just the materials are nice. This may not be real leather, but I'll tell you, it feels like it. They do a nice job. Great details. Look at the color. You can see that orangish color coming through the illuminated dash. Very nicely done. I love the silver material that they're using. It's flat, it's nice, it's clean, and of course you can adjust that illumination. In front of you, you have your speedometer, but the best part, this is part of safety, put on that turn signal, and both the left and the right turn into blind spot cameras. And that is super impressive. We'll be testing that also on the road. In addition, you can change the screens that are in front of you to get different information on both the center and the right side, depending upon which setting you would like. There are paddle shifters, which you probably won't use, but it looks nice. Nice knurled knobs as well. And on the passenger side, or the right side of the steering wheel, you've got your plus your wiper blades. Very nice, very clean. You can see that I've chosen the purplish color lighting. You can choose whatever color you would like. On the left side of the steering wheel are a few buttons, but my favorite one is this auto off button. And then onto the door, which I showed you during the seating part, it has the massaging seats. When you press that, you get the choice of mode, your session, and your intensity. That can be adjusted on the screen, and just close it like that, and it's gone. The center screen has what you would expect from any Genesis. You've got your map, your destination, your phone projection. This is the doors, which allow the door handles to be open or closed. Auto close the door handles, which is what I like. Going back, you can go to your phone, your setup, and this 3D setup is really nice. It shows not just the car, but all the settings. So your driver assistance settings are here. You can adjust what you would like. This is your driver conveniences, your smart cruise control, your speed limiter, which we're going to shut off. The warning methods, you can get the warning volume as well as the haptic. I'm going to turn the haptic down. I'm not a haptic fan personally, but it's great to have, especially if you've got a new driver or maybe you get distracted easily, but all of your different features are here and they're explained, which is a very nice feature because a lot of people don't know about this. That's your lane safety, but often in my case, exit safety. And then also you've got park safety, which this does have smart park, which allows you to go in and out of tight spots. People are used to that. You can also adjust your camera settings, which is really nice. And it's all explained, which I think is great because people don't like to use their owner's manual. Look inside the vehicle. And now you can adjust the different vehicle settings, your climate, your seat. You can see the outside, your head-up display, and of course your cluster, all of that. And of course it's 360. Go right back. Isn't that neat? It shows you all the different things. And if you go back, whoop, to the outside. In addition, your voice memo, satellite radio, of course you've got Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, which is standard. Your media setup, climate control. Let me just go back to that climate control for you quickly. All of that can be adjusted very easily. And also the rear climate. So you don't have to crawl back there. Your seat adjustments, again, just like the second row, you can adjust the seats, which is really nice. Your quiet mode, if you want it quiet, maybe if someone's sleeping in the car. Your Genesis Pay, which is a new feature. And what that does is if you go to get something and you want to pay for it, like gasoline or something like that, you can go through Genesis Pay and activate that. There's also valet mode, so you don't have a Ferris Bueller's Day Off with this car, which could be a lot of fun for someone. Notifications and your manual. All of that is right there, easy to use, really nice. Further down, this is how you get to those settings easier. You got your map, navigation, radio, media, your seek, track, and your favorites, which you can set up however you want. This is your climate control. You can set that up again, what you want. And of course, there's even a scented area if you want to add scent. I guess they've already added it, whether I like it or not. Further down, you've got your cup holder. That's where the key is right now. This can be closed. And then back here, if you've driven any Genesis or Hyundai product, you're going to be super comfortable with this. This is your dial for your shifter. Park is in the middle. Auto hold. Your volume, tune, home, back, menus are all right here. And that's the controller for that as well. In this case, we have the cooled seats on. It's kind of warm out today. You can turn on the cameras at any time. Really crystal clear as well. This is your drive mode button here. Wireless charging and a split glove box with additional charge ports. This is for closing the door, especially if you have someone or a child getting in the back seat and they're really not sure how to close the door. You can do it right from here. The overhead console is really easy to operate. Really like this brushed silver. Very nice. Just easy to turn on and off. I have the glass roof open. Just overall really beautiful. Very premium. There are two engine choices. The turbocharged 3.5-liter V6 engine backed by an 8-speed automatic transmission has 375 horsepower and 391 pound-feet of torque, and that's for the base trim. Fuel economy, 18 miles a gallon in the city and 26 on the highway. Or our test vehicle has the electric Supercharge, which gives you an extra boost to 409 horsepower and 405 pound-feet of torque. Fuel economy is 17 miles per gallon in the city, which is just one less, and 24 miles a gallon on the highway. 0 to 60 time in our test car is 5.1 seconds. And best of all, the E-Supercharge adds rear steering, making this vehicle really easy to drive and handles just so sweetly. The one thing I really like about the Genesis G90 is the ride. I've always been impressed with just the overall comfort, ease of driving of a vehicle of this size. Yes, that is the rear wheel steer, which really helps a big car feel small. And some of the competitors have that as well. We've seen it on BMW and Mercedes and Audi, but now it's available on Genesis, although it was available last year as well. There are very few changes between the 24 and the 25 other than standard Apple CarPlay that is wireless. That's pretty much it. Not much other than a few new colors, a new interior color. So if maybe you wanted something different, take a look at this again. Maybe you weren't in the market last year, but maybe this year you're thinking, I would like to have a luxury sedan. This is certainly something you want to consider. Now, one of the things I really like about this vehicle is just how easy it is to drive. Super easy to get around tight corners. Just so quiet inside. It brings the whole energy level down. So you're having a bad day, you could relax very easily in this vehicle. Just so enjoyable to drive. Beautiful audio system, which I can't let you listen to because otherwise you have to pay ASCAP, because they do collect money every time you use one of their songs. However, let's take a look at how tight this turning radius is. Look at this. We're going to turn around at an intersection. I do not have to do a 3-point turn. It just turns around so beautifully. It is easy to drive. Actually, everything about this car is easy to use. I've been such a fan of the Genesis lineup, and I'm really looking forward to the Magma line, which is going to be their performance line, which will be something very special. We've already seen it when I was in Korea. If you haven't seen my experience in Korea, you can go to my Car Coach Reports channel. There's all kinds of great information. We got to see the Black Edition. We got to see some vehicles we don't get here, which I wish we had shooting brakes, which are the station wagon. That would be really nice to have here. But the ride, even over the bumps on these lovely New York roads, it just absorbs them. The suspension is air ride, so it's just really nice. There are different drive modes as well. You can do the Sport if you want that 409 horsepower. Well, take off. You know what? I don't need that. We're driving around town, right? We can go to eco mode and be more fuel efficient. Or you can go to the comfort mode, which is really going to absorb all the changes that are in the roadway. But overall, everything's easy to use. Everything works super simply. The materials are top quality. The design is really impressive. Remember, there's a lot of German designers that have made their way over to the Genesis product line, and the results are what you're seeing now, just a really impressive car and such great value. The price of this versus a comparable German car, crazy different expensive, much more expensive when it comes to the German vehicles, because they start off with a low base price and then you start adding up all the options that you want and it starts getting really expensive really quickly. So just for the fun of it, we'll pull into the local country club. I am not a member. I'm not a country club kind of person. But we get to drive in here and just how perfect this car belongs. Just high-end, super premium, every material you touch. I'm really, really impressed with this product. I mean, the one thing is, if you're going to buy one of these cars versus one of the German ones, well, one of the things that you do get is the 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty, which is not what you get with the German cars. You'll get the 4-year, 50,000-mile warranty, and once you hit 50,000 miles, that's when things can get expensive with some of these German cars. Having owned Audis, BMWs, and Mercedes over the year, it gets very expensive very quickly. I'm not golfing. I'm not a golfer. I race cars. Much more fun for me personally. Unless you're a golfer, have at it. My husband's a golfer. I'm not a golfer. But overall, I really like this vehicle. Just the ride, the brakes, the performance, this E-Supercharge. You're going to start seeing a lot of these E-Supercharge or these boosted vehicles. You can call it E-Supercharge. It's 48-volt architecture, which means you're going to get really quick responses. And that's what people want when you drive this car. You got a car this size, you want to get on the on-ramp of an expressway, put your foot in it, and you want it to go. And that you're going to get with this vehicle. And I do shut off that on-off, which is on the left side of the steering wheel, because I am not interested in the 1 tablespoon of fuel you will save if you leave it on. To each his own. Here are my pros and cons when it comes to the 2025 Genesis G90. First off, love the design, impressive materials, just beautiful attention to detail. The rear wheel steer is excellent, making this vehicle feel very small. Standard safety across the full lineup. Still love those blind spot cameras. Nobody can beat that. It is a Hyundai Genesis Kia standard, but is not available on any other brand. I'm shocked again that they haven't done anything. And the only negative I can think of on this car is I wish the trunk was a little bigger, but then you're going to give up some of that cabin space. So it's really hard to find a negative with a vehicle at this trim level, just fully decked out and loaded. I do wish there was a few more colors that were available, but again, that's not a deal breaker to me. When you're talking about the competitors, well, that's a pretty long list. The BMW 7 Series, of course, the Mercedes-Benz S-Class, the AMG S63, the Audi A8, as well as the Audi S8. Now, there's going to be a Genesis Magma line coming. That will be their performance line, which will go up against the true AMG, the S or RS lineups, as well as the BMW M Series. And of course, the BMW 7 Series is a direct competitor as well. Now let's take a look at the price. Starting at $89,700 for the base engine, going to our supercharged vehicle, and we're starting at $100,000. Our test vehicle came in at $110,000, literally checked all the boxes. It is a really nice car. If you're thinking about a luxury sedan that you can either take people for a ride or enjoy a beautiful drive with some great technology and some European style without paying the price, take a look at the 2025 Genesis G90. I think you're going to be impressed. Most people I know that own German cars have test driven this vehicle and they end up switching. The concierge service also helps make that decision. Of course, overall cost, insurance. But if you like the German cars, they are great. And we've tested them all on our channel. You can check that out. All the car reviews live on Car Smarts. All the automotive news is at Car Coach Reports. If you'd like to support our channel, you can buy me a cup of coffee or like and subscribe. Share this video with your friends. We appreciate your support. All the details are in the description. I'm LaurenFix.